Plant and food research scientists are involved in an ambitious project to help address the need to produce protein to support a growing world population and New Zealand's bioeconomy. At the heart of the system is a relocatable fish pen capable of operating in open ocean. The prototype and systems supporting it are now being tested near the top of the South Island.
So the definition of open ocean aquaculture is farming fish in deeper, less sheltered waters, far from the coast, in those far more high energy wave and current environments. And so most open ocean aquaculture overseas is generally more exposed aquaculture rather than truly open ocean, because closer to the coast. It's still not that sheltered, but it is a little close to the coast. We're building this system for true open ocean aquaculture. The vision is to be out in the open ocean, far from land, not even being able to see land, and so we can actually utilise some of our ocean waters. So back in 2016 we came up with this idea about going into the open ocean with aquaculture, and actually came about thinking about juvenile snapper. How do we move juvenile snapper around cheaply, because road transport is really expensive, and we wanted another option. And we started thinking, well, you know, could we tow them by sea? And we started looking at different options like that, and we started thinking, well, it's going to take a wee while to get there, and we probably have to feed them along the way. And that was a real light bulb moment. It's like, hang on a minute, why don't we just feed them while they're out there and they can grow, and we can move them around, and that's the key piece here, move them around and have them in the optimal conditions year round. And so that was really the start of this whole venture. This is an example of how we actually carry out the prototyping process. So this is an example of our trawl gear that we've developed called FlowMo with precision seafood harvesting. And so this is an example of the flow modelling that takes place of our models. We start understanding the flow around the structure, and then from there we develop a scale model. So here's the scale model here that we built, around 3 or 4 metres long, and then we're able to test it in our flow tank. We're taking a stepping stone approach where this first demonstration is around a moored system. So we have a fish enclosure and it's moored on a single point mooring, and the enclosure swings around the mooring. So it's quite different to conventional aquaculture, which is stuck in one place. So it's a moored system and the fish have to deal with the conditions year round. The whole system together consists of a fish enclosure and also a support and monitoring buoy, so that contains the feed and all the monitoring equipment. So at the heart of the design is the fish, and so that's our approach to all the research we do. We are fish physiologists, so we're very concerned about the live animal, and we want to understand what does a fish need to be at its best. So the way we've done this here is we've been looking at 2 different species, so snapper, tamari, and Chinook salmon or king salmon, hamana. And so we've been doing targeted studies with them, and we want to understand what their preferences are, what their optimal temperature is for growth, what their optimal flow is, because remembering we're going to go out in the open ocean, it's going to be a different type of flow environment to a sheltered area for conventional aquaculture. So we want to know, can these fish handle different flow? What do they like? What do they not like? And so we take that information, and that starts to come into the design of the system, and so that we really do design around the fish. And that helps with understanding animal welfare and ensuring that these are high health, high welfare animals when they're growing in this system. Supporting the work has been MBIE, so the Ministry for Business and Innovation and Employment, and so they've made a significant investment in this space with us, which has been very much appreciated. And Plant and Food Research have also put some of their own money into this research because they really see the benefits in this and the future in this type of technology.
Aquaculture New Zealand is the industry body for aquaculture. So we support the industry in areas like communications, marketing, workforce, and environmental sustainability. I'm a coastal marine ecologist by training, and so they asked me, and a lot of my work previously has been around putting aquaculture in the right place, so trying to understand how aquaculture fits into the environment. When Plant and Food were looking at having a technical advisory group, they came to me and said, could you come along on that journey with us and help us in that space? The opportunities for open ocean aquaculture that presents for New Zealand is a pretty exciting one. We've been moving out, expanding into the open ocean in the shellfish farming space for some years now, and that's seen some great innovation and technologies and increased production. And for finfish, it's the new frontier for us in New Zealand in Aotearoa, and the opportunities working towards the government's goal for aquaculture is about a $3 billion export industry by 2035. And finfish aquaculture moving and expanding out into the open ocean is likely to provide about 2/3 of that value to New Zealand. And so, yeah, it's an exciting opportunity, and a lot of the growth and expansion will be in rural and, in the regional economies, and that's exciting for the country. We've got great government support and investing in expansion out into those open ocean areas, particularly around providing the capability that we need. So that's technological capability, workforce, science support, all of those things we're going to need more of as we look to expand our industry out into the open ocean. Everyone thinks you need to invest in the pens out in the ocean. That's one part of the puzzle. The other pieces of the puzzle are things like, where do you get your juveniles from? So some facilities for nurseries and hatcheries. You need to be able to invest in the technology to get your fish out to those pens. So new technologies there, or new infrastructure. So wharf infrastructure, vessels. And then once you've grown your beautiful product, then you have to process it and get it out to the world. So yeah, new processing facilities and new pathways to market as well.